Hello, people of the internet. Today, we have another entry in Haskov's intermittent tutorial series, in which I'll be going over the next logical step up from something like steam engines being powered by burning charcoal into something that is hands-off, really easy to set up, and infinite. So the core of this setup is a block called an Arboreal extractor. So what this block does is when its back is pressed up against a tree, it will extract resin from the tree and push it out to its output face. So in this instance, we have orange as our output, and that's going down on the bottom face of the block. So we have these fluid ducts that are taking the resin that is being dumped out of the Arboreal extractor and pushing it to the next block we'll discuss, which is how we get the resin from the trees to where it will be processed. This is an ender tank, which allows us to move the resin from this section of trees over to the factory area where it will be processed into tree oil, which is what is used in the compression engines. So an ender tank functions exactly the same as an ender chest, except it only handles fluids, and at that a single fluid at a time. So it's got a few little moving components to it. One of them is these little colors across the top, which is how you code which ender tanks are connected to each other. And then this little spinny bit right here. If you right click it, it spins and changes what mode the tank is currently in. So if the little blue brackets are across the top, then that is intake. If the orange brackets are on the top, then that is telling it to output from the tank. So now we'll go over to where the resin is actively being processed in our factory zone. So this is the little pipeline here that is processing our resin. So if I look right here, I see this is the ender tank that, since it is white across the top, is corresponding to the one that we have set up in the tree zone. And if you look right between here, you can see the orange brackets are on the top, which means we're allowing it to extract from the tank. And then if I look here, this is a black hole tank, which, like the black hole unit that we're using to store items that I covered in my storage video, this stores liquids and is storing the amount of resin because we're producing much more resin than the block that actually does the conversion can handle at a time, which this block is called a fractionating still. If we look at it, there's a lot of stuff going on here right now, but we have power storage, the current amount of liquid in the tank to be processed, the process that is happening, and then the solid objects that are being produced, and the liquid objects that are being produced. So the solid object that is produced from the fractionating still process in regards to resin is called rosin, which can be used as a fuel source similar to charcoal, and it can also be used to make torches, I believe. But the liquid output of this process is in this red tank heading out to the right side that heads out this way, and that is tree oil, which can be consumed in compression dynamos and used as a liquid fuel. And so next we will discuss how we go about storing all of this tree oil as well as moving it around the world. For our final segment, I will be discussing the storage and transport of our tree oil for use with compression dynamos. So the star of this whole show is this black hole tank that is storing a massive amount of tree oil. Now this black hole tank is hooked up just straight to the output of the still. It's pushed through and stored in, and then there is a fluid conduit explicitly extracting the tree oil out of it into the ender tank, which is coated red, white, white. And so I have another ender tank further below in the little engine zone here that's also coated red, white, white, and orange is on top, so that allows it to extract. And it's pushing out all this tree oil to these compression dynamos, and it's full up because it also has water, and it will just sit there and it will run and it will power everything I need to my heart's content. And that is a really simple and straightforward way to have hands-off infinite power that is infinitely scalable as long as you have the appropriate moving pieces. And so if you want to see more tutorials like this, I am making more on this channel. There are already some on this channel. Feel free to check those out. And if you like what you see, consider subscribing, as well as if you have any thoughts or comments that you would like to add, feel free to comment below. I appreciate you watching this all the way through. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.